The usually quiet sands of Coachella Valley have been rattled by a shockwave that no meteorologist saw coming. Tennis Paradise, otherwise known as the Indian Wells Tennis Garden, is under new management effective immediately. The cause? A 20-year-old southpaw phenomenon hailing from the Philippines, Alexandra Eala. With the main draw ceremonies wrapping up, the Golden State is drowning in a tidal wave of blue, red, and yellow. But the flags are just the tip of the iceberg. We are talking about a total economic upheaval of the event. Early round seats are fetching prices you would typically only see for a Grand Slam championship match. It is a financial anomaly unlike anything we have seen before. Insiders have dubbed it Ayala inflation, and frankly, it has the organizers and longtime attendees completely floored. So, how does the world number 31 manage to break the entire market just by showing up? You need to check the resale sites like StubHub to really grasp the magnitude here. A standard opening pass usually runs you $60 to $80, but fast forward to this Monday morning, and any session with Eala's name on it is commanding $400, $600, and for some prime courtside seats, well over $1,000. It is simple math. California's massive Filipino community has effectively decided to transform Indian Wells into a home game for their idol. A pilgrimage is underway from San Diego to San Francisco, with thousands flooding into the desert, and money is no object when history is on the line. Forget calling this a tennis match. This is a full-blown cultural takeover of the so-called fifth Grand Slam, and the old-school elites are reeling. Picture the 20-year season ticket holder suddenly drowning in a sea of roaring fans screaming, "Laban Pilipinas!" And the main draw action hasn't even started yet. The energy over at the practice courts today rivaled the intensity of most major finals. Security detail had to be doubled the moment Alex stepped onto court 3 this morning. It was pandemonium. People were practically climbing over one another just to catch a peek of her Sampaguita-themed Nike kit. This is the Ayala takeover. She has completely eclipsed every other heavyweight in the bracket, top seeds included. The crushing weight of her fan base has actually forced the WTA to overhaul their security and seating plans for the entire week. However, the timing is the real headline here. Alex Eala isn't just filling a slot this year. She enters as the number 31 seed. That ranking hard-won after her stunning run in the Middle East secured her a bye in the first round. Consequently, that price surge is entirely focused on her potential round of 64 clash on March 6th. People are throwing down hundreds of dollars on a gamble, just hoping to catch her debut as a seeded contender. Analysts are losing their minds. They have never witnessed a 31st ranked player wield more financial influence than the world number 1. Gazing out at the ocean of humanity swarming the gates today, one thing is obvious. Indian Wells 2026 has abandoned its old traditions. This tournament now belongs to the Manila native, and the millions prepared to pay a king's ransom to watch her sparkle. While the box office is in total meltdown, the true coup of Indian Wells 2026 is unfolding in the branding arena. It is Monday, March 2nd, and mere days after her landmark trip to Nike HQ in Oregon, the news is out. We finally have the details on Eala's superstar treatment, and revolutionary is an understatement. Corporate whispers suggest Nike has completely realigned its Gen Z marketing strategy around the Filipina queen, with insiders even hinting at a long-term contract worth a mind-bending $45 to $75 million. We aren't talking about t-shirts and kicks here. This is a cultural coronation. Walking through that history in full bloom exhibit in Oregon wasn't a standard sponsor visit. It was an anointing marking her as the heir apparent to icons like Serena Williams and Maria Sharapova. That Nike effect triggered an absolute retail frenzy at the tennis garden today. Doors had barely cracked open this morning before the new Alex Eala signature Sampaguita line was completely stripped from the racks. That custom gear, emblazoned with the Philippines' national flower, is now the hottest ticket item in BNP Paribas Open history. Analysts are stunned because the data shows Ayala's merch is outselling the top 5 ranked players combined. It is a nightmare for the veterans. Top 10 players are reportedly green with envy over the massive push Nike is dedicating to a number 31 seed. But as the experts will tell you, Nike doesn't care about the rankings. Marketing teams are currently drooling over the 100 million plus Filipinos worldwide, who are eager to snap up any merchandise stamped with the Ayala brand. But this financial tsunami goes far deeper than just selling hats and jerseys at the concession stands. Event officials are stunned. reporting that this wave of Eala mania has sparked an unprecedented flood of international visitors descending upon the Coachella Valley. Never before in the storied existence of what fans call the fifth Grand Slam have we seen statistics quite like this. The bulk of luxury suites and dinner tables are being snapped up by travelers jetting in from Manila, Singapore, and every corner of America. Calling this a mere crowd would be an insult. It is a total economic invasion, pushing entry costs for the round of 64 where Alex finally enters the fray courtesy of her ranking into the stratosphere. The asking price has climbed so absurdly high that even A-list Hollywood stars are having a tough time securing those coveted front-row spots. The thirst for access is so intense that management is scrambling to rig up massive displays outside Stadium 1 for the thousands left gateside who are desperate to feel the energy of the Ayala explosion. Yet, the most captivating plot thread here isn't the money, but rather how the young prodigy herself is shouldering this immense weight. While the talking heads endlessly debate her brand worth and the skyrocketing cost of admission, Alex has been sighted grinding away on courts from Oregon down to California, appearing sharper and more locked in than we have ever seen her. She understands clearly that wearing the crown as the sport's new headliner requires delivering absolute brilliance between the lines. Holding that historic 31st seed grants her a first-round bye and precious extra hours, yet she carries the heavy hopes of an entire country on her back. The realization hitting California is that the invite wasn't sent to just another athlete for this year's showdown at Indian Wells. They opened the gates to a full-blown international revolution. As twilight falls over the opening day's celebration, nobody is whispering about who might claim the top-ranking spot by next Monday, but rather how radically this 20-year-old icon can reshape the sports industry before striking a single ball, though the cash flow in the valley is merely the prologue. The true thriller is scripted right there in the official draw sheets for the 2026 Indian Wells Open, because on this Monday, March 2nd, the sporting community is gazing in horror at a gauntlet laid out for Alexandra Eala that is nothing short of a gladiatorial bloodbath. Securing that number 31 ranking allowed her to sidestep the frantic scramble of the opening round, but in exchange, the tennis gods have dropped her into the absolute deadliest quadrant of the entire event. Should the favorites advance as predicted, Alex is barreling toward a catastrophic showdown with the reigning queen, Aryna Sabalenka, in the round of 32. This revelation has whipped the Filipino fan base into a fever pitch, while analysts debate if the Manila prodigy has the steel to take down the Belarusian tiger on the grandest stage outside the majors. That strategic dismissal of Sabalenka we touched on previously is actually starting to show up in the real money gambling odds. Even with Sabalenka's overwhelming force, the arid desert atmosphere, and the lively, high-kicking courts of this venue have always been a nightmare for her high-risk style of play. Pundits are quick to note that Alex Eala's recent demolition of world number 7 Jasmine Paolini in Dubai wasn't a lucky break, it was a shot across the bow. Strategists are claiming that Alex's wicked left-handed rotation acts as the perfect kryptonite to neutralize Sabalenka's flat, heavy hitting. That anticipation explains why entry fees for this hypothetical third-round brawl have surged into the four-figure range before the opening ceremony even starts. Spectators aren't shelling out that cash for a simple game. They are paying to witness whether the Eala takeover can claim its most prestigious scalp to date. However, Sabalenka is hardly the only titan standing between Alex and glory. A look at the bracket shows that just to reach the top seed, Alex might have to survive the defending champ Mira Andreeva or the legendary Venus Williams, who has returned to the desert on a wildcard entry. Insiders are already labeling this specific section the Group of Death. From the round of 64 onward, every single contest will feel like a championship bout, and the stunning reality is that a 31st ranked player is dominating the conversation. While the actual tournament favorites are being ignored like underdogs regarding fan enthusiasm, Alex has been out there drilling relentlessly beneath the scorching sun, clad in shimmering Nike apparel as she hones the specific weapons meant to dismantle Sabalenka's cadence, while the vibe inside the locker room is reportedly thick with tension. Even as competitors try to lock in on their routines, the colossal shadow cast by Alex Eala's army of supporters hangs over the entire facility. Logistics teams are already plotting to shift her slated matches onto center court, the second biggest tennis arena on the planet, simply to warehouse the legions of devotees flying in from overseas. while analysts scream their predictions. For Alex Eala, this is far more than a competition, it is a coronation ceremony. If she navigates this opening week and topples a behemoth like Sabalenka, the landscape of professional tennis changes forever. The seismic activity in California is nearing its apex, and on March 6th, when Alex takes the stage, the aftershocks will rattle windows all the way back in the Philippines. As we plunge further into this record-breaking week on the West Coast, the monetary and competitive stakes for Alexandra Ayala have escalated to a level that truly defies belief. On this Monday, March 2nd, 2026, the official financial breakdown for the BNP Paribas Open has dropped, and the figures are astronomical. The ultimate victor of this fifth Grand Slam stands to pocket a check for $1.15 million, that is over 64 million Philippine pesos. For Alex, who has already stamped her ticket to the round of 64, riding high on her career-best world ranking of 31, every step forward is a high-stakes gamble. But cash isn't her only motivation. She is hunting down the 1,000 ranking points that could vault her straight into the elite top 20. To guarantee she is in fighting shape for this million-dollar crusade, Alex Eala has made a bold, strategic move that has the whole tour buzzing. She is pouring 100% of her focus into the singles bracket, ditching the doubles competition to save her legs for the scorching desert sun. Why? Because that massive welcome she got in California comes with heavy expectations. Alex knows that to take down titans like Aryna Sabalenka or Iga Swiatek, she cannot afford to waste a single drop of fuel. This singles-only tunnel vision proves her absolute maturity. She is here to hoist the championship hardware and nothing less. But the real headline grabber is a looming third-round showdown that has fans from Belarus to the Philippines holding their breath. Thanks to her seeding, destiny has put Alex Eala on a crash course with the world number 1, Aryna Sabalenka. The Belarusian tiger is famous for her thunderous power, yet insiders are whispering that Alex might actually pull off the upset. Why? Because the gritty, high-bouncing courts of Indian Wells play perfectly into Alex's lefty topspin and crafty tactics. It is the exact style she honed to perfection at the Rafa Nadal Academy. If Alex survives her opener on March 6th, we are looking at a clash of titans in the round of 32 that could shake up the WTA rankings forever. The pressure is boiling over, but the so-called Ayala effect keeps her cool. Despite the 7-figure prize purse and the top-ranked juggernaut waiting in the wings, Alex spent the day grinding through a brutal practice session, tuning her serve to the tricky, thin desert air. She knows she is defending the reputation she built during her Dubai breakthrough, where she stunned Jasmine Paolini. California crowds are in shock, witnessing a 20-year-old with the ice-cold focus of a veteran and the hunger of a rookie. As the main draw launches on March 4th, the question isn't just about her deep run. It is about whether anyone, even Sabalenka, can halt the Pinoy Queen's charge. As the sun sets purple over the Indian Wells tennis garden this Monday, March 2nd, 2026, history rests heavy on the shoulders of Alexandra Eala. What we have seen unfold in California lately is far more than just a warm greeting. It is the coronation of a new tennis superpower. From the gridlock of Manila to the pristine courts of the Coachella Valley, the Eala effect has bridged the gap for millions. By hitting a career-high ranking of 31, Alex has achieved the impossible for her nation, walking into a WTA 1000 event as a seeded threat. Commanding the fear of the tour's elite, the locker room whispers are no longer about her potential. They are about her terrifying reality as a contender for the sport's biggest prizes. The path forward is clear and the chips are all in the middle. With a historic first-round bye in her pocket, Alex Eala is channeling every ounce of energy into her round of 64 debut on March 6th. That electric welcome from the California crowd has given her a mental shield that even world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka should be worried about. The potential round of 32 brawl between the Belarusian tiger and the Filipina queen is easily the most anticipated ticket of the week. It represents a battle for the soul of the next generation. With a $1.15 million jackpot and a top 20 spot up for grabs, Alex stands on the precipice of immortality. She is fighting for more than just herself now. She plays for every Southeast Asian dreamer who was ever told their goals were out of reach. As the tournament proper ignites on March 4th, the world watches to see if her Nike deal and California hype translate into desert gold. Alex was spotted one last time practicing today, her lefty forehand ripping through the air with a ferocity that left spectators floored. She is ready, she is rested, and she is powered by a nation's roaring love. The desert heat burns hot, but it is nothing compared to the fire inside Alex Eala. She has proven that with grit, smarts, and a global family behind you, anything is possible. A massive shout-out for riding along on this intense 5-part odyssey into the heart of the Ayala uprising. This was a tale of guts, glory, and chasing the impossible. Now, stand tall with the Pinoy Queen as she prepares to dismantle the global hierarchy at Indian Wells, and destroy that like button while subscribing to ensure you do not miss a single heartbeat from the desert courts. Let us flood the comments with energy one final time. Type champion Eala if you have zero doubt she is flying home with the gold. The warm-ups are over, the audience is hushed, and the legend of Alex Eala is ready to explode into greatness. Catch you courtside for the action.